If you stopped eating for just 5 days, what would happen? Would your body weaken and collapse? Or could it heal itself, becoming sharper, stronger, and more resilient than before? Most of us grew up believing health comes only from eating enough food. 3 meals a day plus snacks in between became the normal way to live. But something doesn't add up if we look back at how humans evolved. Our ancestors didn't have refrigerators, fast food chains, or delivery apps. They went days, sometimes longer, without eating, and instead of breaking down, their bodies adapted, becoming more innovative, efficient, and surprisingly resilient. Modern science is finally catching up to this ancient wisdom. Researchers from Harvard, the NIH, and the Mayo Clinic confirm that structured fasting can reset metabolism, improve brain performance, renew the immune system, and even switch on longevity genes that protect us from aging. But here's the part most people don't realize. This reset doesn't take months or years. It begins in just 5 days. Each day brings unique changes, clearing stored sugar, sparking brain fuel, repairing cells, and finally rebuilding from the inside out. I'm Dr. Evelyn Brooks, and in this guide, I'll walk you through exactly what happens in your body, day by day, when you pause eating and allow your system to heal. You'll see why fasting isn't starvation. It's renewal. A natural switch your body has been waiting for you to flip. On the first day of fasting, something fascinating begins inside your body. At first, you might expect hunger to roar louder with every passing hour. But what happens is the opposite. The body has a plan, a very efficient one, and it starts working almost immediately. The first step is burning through glycogen, the stored form of sugar in your muscles and liver. Glycogen is like a pantry your body keeps for quick fuel. But here's the catch. Every glycogen molecule is stored with 3 water molecules. That means when you use it up, you're burning sugar and letting go of a lot of excess fluid. This is why many people lose 1 to 3 pounds on day 1 alone. It's not just water weight. It's your body unloading what it no longer needs. With glycogen supplies running low, your insulin levels begin to drop. Insulin is the hormone that decides whether you burn sugar or fat. When it's high, fat stays locked away. But when it falls, as it does on day 1, your body finally gains access to its true fuel reserves, fat. This is the moment many people feel their hunger begin to fade. Instead of constantly craving food, the body quietly burns what it has stored for years. I once worked with Robert, a 65-year-old retired teacher. He told me he was terrified of feeling weak if he skipped meals. Yet after his first full day without food, he noticed something unexpected. His constant snacking urge disappeared. "It's almost like I'm eating from the inside out," he laughed. That's exactly right. Your body is feeding itself with its fat stores. Now here's where a little preparation helps. On the first day, you may feel lightheaded or even get muscle cramps. This isn't because you're starving. It's usually due to electrolyte shifts. As your body releases fluid, it also loses minerals like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. These are vital for steady energy and strong muscles. If you supplement with a pinch of sea salt in your water or take magnesium in the evening, most of those discomforts melt away. Science backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation found that even short fasting periods improve insulin sensitivity and begin shifting metabolism toward fat burning within 24 hours. In other words, the reset starts almost instantly. As for drinks, simple is best. Water, black coffee, or herbal tea without sugar or cream are all fine. A squeeze of lemon is harmless, but skip apple cider vinegar. It can add acid to an already adjusting stomach. Day 1 is often called the breaking point, but I prefer to consider it the clearing day. Your body is sweeping away sugar, draining excess fluid, and gently lowering the hormonal barriers that have kept fat locked away. It's not about deprivation, it's about creating space. Space for your body to breathe, to shift gears, and to begin its journey back toward balance. When you wake up on day 2, the real magic begins. By the second day of fasting, your body takes a dramatic turn. The sugar reserves are gone, and your brain and cells must adapt. Instead of panicking, they do something extraordinary. Switch to a cleaner, more powerful fuel called ketones. Ketones are made when your body breaks down fat for energy. Think of it this way: glucose, the fuel from sugar, burns like damp firewood. It creates smoke, soot, and quick bursts of flame. Ketones, on the other hand, burn like clean solar power. They deliver steady energy without the roller coaster of highs and crashes. This shift into ketosis is what gives so many people a mental lift on day 2. Focus sharpens, mood stabilizes. Some even describe it as a gentle calm settling in. Research supports this. A Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience study showed that ketones provide efficient brain fuel and protect neurons from damage linked to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. For those of us in our 50s, 60s, and beyond, that's a remarkable advantage. Another process begins today, too, one of the body's hidden superpowers. It's called autophagy, which means self-eating. Don't be alarmed. This is your body's recycling program. Old, damaged proteins, malfunctioning cell parts, and clutter clogging your system get broken down and reused as raw material. Imagine your body as a home gathering junk in the attic for years. Day 2 is when the cleaning crew arrives, hauling out the broken furniture and repurposing the wood to build something new. I remember working with Linda, a 59-year-old librarian who decided to try fasting for the first time. She told me that on her second day, something surprising happened. Instead of feeling foggy, she felt still in her mind, like background noise had quieted. For the first time in years, she said, I could read without my mind wandering. That's the power of ketosis and autophagy working hand in hand, fueling the brain while decluttering the cells. Now, hunger is still present for some on day 2, but it's not the gnawing kind most expect. It comes in waves, often triggered more by habit than need. A glass of water, tea, or a short walk can dissolve it. And because ketones naturally suppress appetite, many people are shocked to realize they're less interested in food than eating 3 meals a day. One more benefit: emotional steadiness. Ketones act almost like a natural antidepressant. Instead of blood sugar spikes that fuel irritability, you get a steady stream of energy that lifts your mood. Some studies even call ketosis nutritional therapy for the brain. Day 2 is when fasting stops feeling like restriction and starts feeling like freedom. Your body is no longer chained to the ups and downs of constant eating. Instead, it's running on its deep reserves, clean, steady, and empowering. And when you think it can't improve, day 3 takes the transformation even deeper. By the third day of fasting, your body is not just adjusting, but transforming. If the first day was about clearing and the second about shifting fuels, then day 3 is about repair and renewal on a scale you may never have experienced. At this point, your body is running almost entirely on ketones. The brain, in particular, thrives on this clean energy. Many people report a practically euphoric clarity, like a fog has lifted and their thoughts are sharper than in years. This is partly thanks to a remarkable BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor protein. Think of BDNF as a fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps grow new connections, protects existing neurons, and supports memory and learning. Some studies show BDNF can rise by 400% during fasting. For older adults, this is like giving the brain a second springtime. But the magic isn't limited to the brain. Day 3 is when deep autophagy kicks in. On day 2, the body began cleaning the house. But today, it starts dismantling damaged mitochondria, precancerous cells, and even hidden infections tucked away inside tissues. These old, dysfunctional parts are broken down and recycled into fresh building blocks. Imagine tearing down a crumbling shed and using the wood to construct a sturdy new room in your home. That's what your cells are doing now. This process also extends to the immune system. At 72 hours, the body begins recycling worn-out white blood cells and activating stem cells, those blank slate cells that can become new defenders when needed. Your thymus gland, the training ground for T cells, regenerates. A 2019 study from the NIH showed that prolonged fasting stimulates immune system renewal, even in older adults. For someone in their 60s or 70s, this means giving your immune defenses a powerful reboot. Another remarkable benefit on day 3 is happening in the gut. Your intestines, which are lined with a single fragile layer of cells, are finally getting a rest. Daily food particles, toxins, and irritants usually bombard this lining. But after 3 days without food, the gut has time to repair itself. Many people notice less bloating, improved digestion, and fewer cravings when they eventually return to eating. And then there's growth hormone, the body's natural protector against muscle loss. By day 3, growth hormone spikes dramatically, ensuring that lean muscle is preserved while fat is being burned. This is why people who complete a 5-day fast don't waste away. Instead, they often look and feel stronger afterwards. One of my patients, Michael, 62, told me that his chronic joint stiffness had eased by his 3rd fasting day. He described it as if someone had oiled the hinges in his body. That's the anti-inflammatory effect of deep autophagy and immune renewal working together. Day 3 is the actual turning point. You're no longer simply fasting, you're rebuilding from within. The body has shifted from survival to healing, preparing you for profound changes. By the 4th day of fasting, something extraordinary happens. Your body doesn't just cope without food. It begins to thrive in ways that surprise even modern scientists. Hunger, the fear that keeps most people from ever trying a fast this long, has almost completely disappeared. Instead, a calm energy settles in. It's as if your body has remembered an ancient rhythm, one written into your DNA long before grocery stores and restaurant menus existed. On day 4, fat burning reaches its peak. Your body is now deeply efficient at turning fat into ketones, which power your muscles, organs, and brain with clean, steady energy. The absence of hunger might feel puzzling. How can you go 4 days without food and not feel ravenous? The answer is simple. Your body has been eating all along. It's just been dining on its reserves, fuel it stored for this very purpose. Beyond fuel, the real marvel of day 4 lies in activating longevity genes. These are protective switches that guard against cellular aging. Research from Harvard shows that fasting stimulates a family of genes called sirtuins, which repair DNA damage, improve metabolic efficiency, and protect brain cells. Think of these genes as the body's built-in maintenance crew, which only shows up when food is scarce. Your antioxidant networks also strengthen today. While many of us rely on berries, vegetables, and supplements for antioxidants, our bodies are designed to produce powerful ones naturally. During fasting, this system kicks into high gear, lowering oxidative stress, which accelerates aging and chronic disease. Meanwhile, your gut's microbiome, the trillions of bacteria, begins to diversify. Like soil organisms surviving drought, gut bacteria adapt when food is withheld, becoming more resilient and balanced. A healthier microbiome means better digestion, stronger immunity, and improved mood regulation. Hormonal adjustments also take place. Thyroid activity may slow slightly, not as a sign of damage, but as a protective adaptation. Your body is conserving energy wisely. Sex hormones, too, may quiet down temporarily because reproduction is not the priority during fasting. Instead, every ounce of energy is redirected toward repair, preservation, and survival. This is also the stage where inflammation plummets. Deep autophagy continues, sweeping away damaged cells, early cancerous changes, and even protein plaques that clog the brain. For older adults, this could mean reducing risks linked to arthritis, dementia, and cardiovascular disease. I recall working with Helen, 70, who had battled joint swelling for years. During her fourth fasting day, she noticed the stiffness in her hands eased dramatically. "It feels like someone turned off the fire inside me," she said. That's the anti-inflammatory miracle of day 4. So, what makes day 4 so powerful? The body recognizes that it must protect, preserve, and rebuild for long-term survival. The survival genes awaken, the immune system strengthens, and the brain thrives on ketones. It's not starvation. It's evolution's design for resilience. By the time you enter day 5, you are no longer simply fasting. You are experiencing renewal at a genetic level. On the 5th day of fasting, your body is no longer struggling or adapting. It is rebuilding. This is when everything you've endured, the first waves of hunger, the electrolyte adjustments, the mental shift into ketosis, begins to pay off in remarkable ways. Day 5 is the harvest. At this stage, the repair processes that began on earlier days are in full bloom. Your immune system has been refreshed, your gut lining has had time to heal, and your brain has been running on ketones like a well-oiled engine. Now, the body prepares for the most critical step: refeeding. Refeeding may sound simple, eat again, but it's one of the most delicate stages. After 5 days of rest, your digestive system is like a quiet engine turned off. If you slam it into high gear too quickly with a heavy meal, the result can be nausea, cramping, or even more serious complications. The wise approach is gradual. Begin with gentle foods such as bone broth, half an avocado, or a soft-boiled egg with a spoon of sauerkraut. Then, after a couple of hours, perhaps add some berries or a small bowl of soup. You slowly reintroduce more substantial meals over the next 2 to 3 days. Why is this so important? Because the body is now primed for massive regeneration. Stem cells, which were activated during the fast, are ready to rebuild tissues. New white blood cells form, strengthening immunity. Muscles and joints receive a boost of healing energy. Even your skin, often overlooked, may look more vibrant and refreshed. Scientists call this the rebound effect. Your body takes all the energy it saved and invests it in renewal. I've seen this transformation in many patients. One man in his late 60s, Michael, came to me after completing a 5-day reset. He didn't just lose weight, he noticed his chronic knee pain had eased and his sleep had deepened. "I feel like I got 10 years back," he said with tears in his eyes. That is the rebuilding power of day 5. This is also when the genes for growth and repair switch back on. Your mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your cells, multiply, providing more energy for the days ahead. Protective genes that guard your DNA against damage stay active long after the fast ends, giving you benefits that extend weeks or even months beyond the reset. What you choose to eat during refeeding shapes these outcomes. High-quality foods, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed meats, fresh vegetables, nuts, and berries become the raw materials for your new cells. This is why fasting should never end with processed foods or sugar. To rebuild wisely, you must feed your body with nourishment that matches the quality of its efforts. Day 5 is not the end of fasting. It is the beginning of renewal. You've given your body the gift of pause, and now it responds by rebuilding you from the inside out. 5 days may sound like a long time to go without food, but the truth is, those days can reshape your health in ways that last far beyond the fast itself. By the end of this journey, your body has cleared out sugar reserves, tapped into fat for clean energy, sharpened brain function, renewed the immune system, lowered inflammation, and even awakened protective genes that defend against aging. It's natural to feel both inspired and hesitant. Fasting can seem intimidating, especially if you've spent decades living by the clock of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But here's the reassurance: you don't need to jump straight into a 5-day fast. Most people begin with shorter fasts, 12 hours, then 16, then a single day. Over time, the body remembers how to handle longer stretches with ease. The most important thing is safety. If you're on medication, managing a chronic condition, or feeling unsure, talk with your doctor before starting. Fasting is powerful, but it must be used wisely like any tool. Think of fasting not as deprivation, but as restoration. It's a pause button your body is quietly longing for, a chance to heal, reset, and rebuild. So whether you start small or work toward a complete 5-day reset, know this: your body still carries the blueprint for youth and vitality. Sometimes it simply needs space to bring it back to life. Your reset is within reach, one mindful step at a time.